guys, today we're going to learn how to use a ruler. First we're going to learn how to hold the ruler correctly, we're going to learn how to make a straight line, and we're also finally going to learn how to create a grid. Just warning you, there's going to be a little bit of math in this video, so don't be alarmed, don't be scared. It's not super duper difficult math, but you will be doing some adding. Okay, first things first, holding a ruler. So a lot of times when I see kids using rulers to make lines, they put their ruler down on their paper and then they, draw the line, but they don't even really hold the ruler nice and tight, and so the line becomes a little wonky instead of straight. What's the point of using a ruler if you're not going to make a straight line? So always make sure that when you use your ruler, you put it down on your paper and you take your hand that you do not write with and you hold it firmly on your paper. Okay, always hold it super firm. If you're not holding it firmly, the pressure of your pencil is going to make your ruler move a little bit, and you don't want the ruler to move at all when you're making a straight line. So first things first, hold it firm and you'll be fine, all right? Second thing is when you're using your pencil, make sure that your pencil is actually going against the edge of the ruler. A lot of times, especially really little kids who haven't really used rulers that much, they put the ruler down and they're using it, but then they kind of just go like on the outside of the ruler, which, why are you using a ruler if you're not going to go against it? So make sure your pencil is nice and firm against the ruler while you're making that line down. You should hear it up against the ruler. You should hear the sound of the wood friction with the other wood, okay? So those are the two most important things about using a ruler. Got that? All right, so let's get some paper and we're gonna see how this works. All right, so first thing that everyone should know about a ruler. Most of the rulers that we have in the art room, the actual width of the ruler itself is 1 inch. So if you measured the width of the ruler, you'd see that it's basically exactly 1 inch wide. So if you wanted to make a straight line against your paper, I would just put the ruler right up against the edge, because the edge of your paper is already nice and straight, okay? So always start off from your edge, and then if you match up the ruler exactly with the edge, the line that you make on the other side of the ruler should be 1 inch from your piece of paper's edge. So if you ever wanted to make a border for your paper, it's a really good idea just to use the width of the ruler. When we do things like our agamagraphs, where we do a two-way drawing, we often do these kinds of lines where we just put the ruler up against the edge, make a line, and then keep on putting our ruler up against the line that we just made. And then that creates 1 inch apart lines. So as you can see, I have nice straight lines there, okay? Now, another way to make a nice straight ruler, if we are looking for a line that's further away than 1 inch from your edge, you're gonna have to do some measuring. So if I wanted a line that was somewhere around here, I'm going to measure from the edge of my paper how far away that is. And I'm gonna say that it's 4 inches away. So I'm gonna make a little dot at 4. And it can be anywhere you want on this line, 4 inches away from your paper. I'm gonna make one somewhere towards the top of my paper. And then I'm gonna make another one towards the bottom of my paper. So I'm gonna measure to 4 again, make a little dot. So now I've got these 2 dots here. I'm gonna basically play connect the dots to make a nice straight line. So I'm gonna put my ruler right up against those 2 dots, make sure that both of them match up with the ruler. And then as you can see, my ruler is nice and straight. I'm holding it firmly. It goes from the top of the page to the bottom of the page. I'm gonna make that line now, and now I've got a nice, perfectly straight line that's 4 inches away from the edge of my paper. So if I wanted to keep on going and make a grid of 4x4 squares, say we're doing that. So I've already got a line that's 4 inches away. So 4 plus 4 is 8. So I'm gonna make another line that's 8 inches away. So I'm gonna go 8. So I've got my 2 dots at 8. I'm gonna put my ruler up against the dots, and I'm gonna hold it nice and tight, make my line. So now I've got that line, so I'm gonna measure 4 inches from this line. So right now I've got my columns done. So I've got my 4-inch columns, okay? Now I need to make the lines that go horizontally across my paper, and if this is 12 inches long, 12 divided by 4 is 3, so I'm gonna have three boxes in my grid, okay? So now I've already measured this way across to get my lines that go vertically up and down. So now I have to measure vertically to get my lines that go horizontal. Now I've got a 4x3 grid, okay? So if you look here, got a 4x3 grid, all right? And we use grids to help us draw pictures for our Georgia O'Keeffe flowers in 4th grade. We also use them in 8th grade to create our drawing with words. Grids are super duper helpful if you're trying to copy from a picture. So if you're using a small photograph that's about this size, you do a smaller grid on that one, but it's the same amount of squares as your larger grid. And then you just basically draw square by square from what you see. You just copy the lines and make sure that they match throughout the grid. So again, 4th grade and 8th grade we'll be using these, but it's really important to know how to use a ruler in order to make them. So hopefully this helped a little bit. I will be going over this with you, each of you, while we do the projects, but just to make sure that whenever you're using a ruler, you're holding it really firm. If you need someone else to help you, ask someone at your table to hold the ruler for you while you make your lines, and always make sure, again, that you're going right up against the ruler when you're actually drawing your line. So nice and firm against the ruler to make that straight line, all right? And that's basically rulers. If you have any questions, please let me know, and practice, practice, practice.